Thank you for the chance to be here today. It's a great honor. It is my first time in this auditorium, and I just want to say at the outset that I don't think I've ever been more flattered than the kind words of Congressman Becerra and my former boss, John McCain, about my work. But I will tell you that when I was head of the CBO, neither had a good word to say about me. So time heals all wounds, and let us hope that we can get over the wounds of past efforts on this topic and get something done this year. I'm an economist. That means I have the profound capacity to strip all the interest out of any conversation. So let me begin. From an economics point of view, citizenship per se really is not the issue. It is getting to a legal status so that workers are in the labor force and in the workplace with the rights and the benefits and the protections of all legal workers. Having said that, I personally support a pathway to earn citizenship as the most sensible, humane, and American way to deal with the undocumented who have been contributing to this society for so long. The question for me, and in the end, it's a practical question, is how do we get the votes? I mean, it's wonderful to have goals, but we have to get over the finish line this time. And I would say that a couple of issues arise in that regard. And you're all familiar with these, but it's worth thinking about them. The first is that the House of Representatives has embarked on a new process. The Senate process is done, and there will be a piecemeal approach in the House. That's a political reality that we all need to accept, and that places burdens on both sides. For Democrats, a refusal to offer votes for anything other than a comprehensive immigration reform bill is to kill immigration reform this year. I mean, you need to understand that in the spirit of my old boss, straight talk. If Democrats refuse to vote for anything other than a comprehensive immigration reform, they will kill immigration reform this year. It is essential that they step up and support a House process that isn't going to pick up a Senate bill. On the Republican side, it is important that the vast majority of Republicans who support this recognize that the disgraceful comments of a vociferous minority need to be ignored, and that they need to respect the wishes of their constituents. There's some recent polling that was put out by a sister organization. Makes it very clear. If you look at Republican primary voters, they think the immigration system is broken. They want comprehensive immigration reform, vast majorities. They think it's appropriate, as Senator McCain said, that with penalties, back taxes, and learning English, that there be a path to legalization, and that they support that profoundly. They're willing to vote for people who disagree with them on immigration reform. This isn't the death knell of a Republican who's trying to run for re-election. And they 100% support the notion that the Congress needs to fix this. It is inappropriate to leave this as an administrative matter for the President of the United States. So I've worked on this issue for years now. I cannot say enough good things about the potential for a good immigration reform to reinvigorate this economy. I cannot say enough about its contributions to mundane matters like our federal budget outlook. But I would say that at this moment, it is at the key juncture in the politics of getting immigration reform done. And I would echo the sentiments of the previous panel and say everyone in this room can make a difference. And I would encourage you to keep this moving forward in the House. It'll be a different way of doing business, but it is a way to get this done.
Well, before we move on to Dr. Pastor, I think it's worth telling people, because you've looked at this closely and you've read the CBO report, just what are the benefits
it's enormous.
Of this legislation? What are the economic benefits? A lot of people, for example, are worried that this bill is going to lower their wages or cost them their jobs. What's your view on this?
Let me say a couple things about it. For example, there's a recent report that came out from a forecasting group known as REMI, Regional Economic Modeling Incorporated. This isn't a partisan group. This is a group that does good, solid economic modeling. And their estimate is that just the pathway to citizenship in the Senate bill would create 600,000 jobs over the next 5 years. So that's not taking jobs from people. That's creating new jobs. The whole bill that the CBO looked like raises the economic growth in the United States. You get, 0.3% more GDP. That doesn't sound like much. I'll just remind everyone that from 1776 till now, the U.S. grew roughly 0.3% faster than England. Think about our economic standing now versus then, and theirs then versus now. 3/10 matters a lot. It means $1 trillion in improved budget outlook, a problem that has plagued politics in this town for the past several years. There's nothing more important than reforming our visa system for future flows that give us the skill sets that we need, allow us to overcome low fertility rates in the United States. Good immigration reform is at the heart of choosing the labor force of tomorrow, which is about choosing the American economy of tomorrow. That's what's at stake in this issue from an economic point of view.
Thank you.